How are we going, everybody? Talking hedging. Now, one of my favourite hedges is Morea paniculata orange jessamine, which is a beautiful white cluster flower. What are you doing? Seriously. Anyway, she's going to learn the hard way, I think. Now, the Morea's got a beautiful perfume on it. It can grow up to 6 metres, but it's easy to control. It doesn't grow out of control. Well, it can grow fast, but you can prune it quite well, and you can actually grow it quite narrow. I've grown it in the past about 30 centimetres deep and about 2 metres high, and it's been just perfect. Now, what we're standing next to here isn't a Morea. This is a Ligustrum undulatum. I think it's called box privet. To me, it's a weed. It's literally a weed. We acquired it when we got here, and I've been maintaining it as best I can for the years that we've been here. But it gets away if you don't prune it, and you walk past it, and that's with all hedges really. If you walk past them every day and you can see they're growing, eventually you've got to get to them, don't you? Now, I've been avoiding this one because I just can't be bothered getting up there on the ladder and pruning it back down. You could see the old growth was about here. That's where it was, and that's where we're sort of pruning it back to, about 6 foot. Oh, sorry, 6 foot's here. 7 foot. So we normally cut it back to there, but it's grown so tall now, I'm not going to cut it back to there. And if I do, I'm going to expose a lot of wood. And there's not a problem with that, especially with this plant. If you're growing a hedge like the Ligustrum here that we have, or even the Moreas, many of the hedges, Pittosporums as well, they can take to a hard prune. Now, the reason why they're woody inside is there's no sunlight. No sun gets in there. There are a lot of active buds here that are otherwise dormant now because the sun's not getting there. It's not activating those enzymes for it to grow. And the only way you're going to get them to grow is by cutting it back and exposing them to the sunlight, and they will grow. Now, this one here is only a part of the whole hedge. And the day it came that I started to prune it, so this is the last part that I've got to prune. So I've gone hard on this. Now, if you want to see how hard I've gone on this, come along. This is the opposite end, folks. How's that, eh? Well, it's about 8-9 feet high. I've cut it down to about 4 foot. Literally brought it right down. Now, you may think, oh my God, what has he done? He's killed it. But in fact, if you look inside, we've already got suckers coming up from the base. This needs to be thinned out. And we've already got new shoots developing through the middle here. This has only been about a week that I've done the pruning on it, and I've hacked it. I've taken it with a chainsaw, and I should go back and clean it up, but it's one of those plants that you can hack them and they'll just they're so resilient and forgiving, they'll just come bounce back with a vengeance and grow hard. I've cut it down because that's where our little private gardens are. That's a Granny Smith. Look at the side of it. All those leaves now have wilted from the harsh sun because they were sitting in shade for most of their growing life. So now that they've got a little bit of sunlight and wind, they've burnt off, so that's got to harden off. And the plum tree's getting more sunlight in the morning as well. So I've pruned it and I've sort of tapered it up. I thought it'd be a little bit fancy with it. Bring it up to the top there. We're going to come back later on once it starts to fill in and then see how it develops. But that shape there is the curve that I've created on it, and you can do that too. Now, if you're not sure about the hedge that you've got at home, that's if you're growing a hedge, ask your local gardener, garden maintenance person, guy or girl, whoever you have, or even if there's a local one that you see around the traps, give them a call or go to your local garden centre, take a sample of the leaf. You don't need a hell of a lot. And sometimes like that is enough. Some people may say, oh, that's a Pittosporum, it looks like that. You can explain it a little bit more, describing it, and the garden team there, your local garden centre, should be able to just work out what it is and identify it and tell you whether you can prune it really hard or take it slowly. And if you really don't want to go too hard at once, work your way down. Don't go the full hog like I have here. Go a third of it. And then as soon as you see new growth, take it down again a little bit more. It's going to shock the plant, yes. Make sure you're doing it in the right growing season, not in the heart of winter. And then just work it down a little bit more, because if you stimulate a growth at the top there, more than likely you'll have a little bit of growth coming through a little bit lower. And that's what, well, this one here, I've just gone hard on it. It's going to grow. If it doesn't, I'm going to play the row of olive trees and hedge them. Now that's madness. This hedge here, folks, was this wide, the pathway. I could not get in here after a while. and especially when the rain came, it became top heavy and just wilt onto each other. So we were sort of brushing ourselves way through it. So now we've cut it right back. And again, this was really high. I've kept this a little bit higher than the other half, and that will fill in. This will grow back up to here again. So realistically, I would have preferred this. I should have taken it, not preferred it, I should have taken it lower. So when it puts on 4 or 6 inches, 100 or 200 mil of growth, it's nice and lush and green. I still want to be able to see over the top here. Yeah, because I'm the tallest fella in the family here. Anyway, check out our website, facilitiesgardens.com. Somebody else is laughing now. Good on you, mate. So now that's the normal head height that he holds the camera at, because that's his head. Maresi.